All right, so today we're going to like dive deep into this whole idea that English is important.
Okay.
I mean, you hear it all the time, right? It's almost like a cliche at this point.
Right.
But we're going way deeper than those like surface level reasons here.
Yeah.
We're talking like real Blinkist level insights here, folks. You know, for those of you who are like serious about learning, we're pulling from this YouTube video, and they really get into like all the reasons why English matters so much.
Yeah.
Especially for people like you who are clearly dedicated to learning.
Well, what's fascinating to me is that, everyone talks about how many English speakers there are in the world, right? Like, it's proof that it's important.
Yeah.
Over 1.5 billion people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
About 20% of the planet.
It's crazy.
And it's true. It is a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's kind of just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. It begs the question, like, why? Out of all the languages in the world, what makes English stand out so much?
Right. And, if you go a little deeper,
Yeah.
English is not just about communication. It's about access.
Okay.
The video mentions it's the most studied second language globally.
Oh, wow.
And that's not just because it's popular,
Right.
It's because it really is the key to opening up so many opportunities.
I see.
In like all these different fields, from business to science. It's
Yeah.
really incredible.
Okay, so like how did it get that kind of power?
Well,
I know the video mentioned something about the British Empire, right?
absolutely. The British Empire's influence historically is undeniable.
Right.
At its peak,
Yeah.
they had territories on literally every continent.
Yeah.
And with that came the spread of English.
So it's like they planted the seeds everywhere.
Exactly. It's like they planted the seeds, and even after the empire declined, the language it took root and flourished.
Every continent, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of mind-blowing to think about.
It is.
But isn't it ironic that a language that spread through colonization
Yeah.
became so crucial for global connection?
It's a complex legacy for sure.
Yeah.
Many former colonies,
Okay.
like India, Nigeria, South Africa,
Right.
they still have English as an official language.
Yeah.
But, think about a place like India.
Okay.
They have 22 officially recognized languages.
Whoa.
So English actually becomes
Wow.
a unifying force in a way. It helps everyone communicate when they have all these other languages floating around.
So it went from a tool of colonial power to like a tool of connection in a post-colonial world.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big shift.
It is.
But
Yeah.
the video also talked about the rise of the United States,
Yes.
which kind of adds another layer to all of this.
Exactly.
Right.
The 20th and 21st centuries, we saw the U.S., become this global superpower, not just militarily, but also economically and culturally. And what was their language?
Yeah. English, of course. It seems almost inevitable
Right.
that it would become so dominant given all of that.
Yeah.
But what about other fields,
Okay.
like beyond business?
Yeah. English's reach goes way beyond just the boardroom. Think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Pilots and air traffic controllers.
Oh, yeah.
All over the world, they're communicating in English.
That's true.
It's the language that literally keeps the skies safe.
Yeah.
And then, if you're interested in science at all, it's essential for staying at the forefront of your field.
It's like the global language of safety and innovation.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing when you think about it.
Right.
Like, can you imagine trying to coordinate air traffic control
Oh my gosh.
in hundreds of different languages?
It would be impossible.
It would be chaos.
Yeah.
So back to that whole science thing,
Yeah.
what's like a concrete example of how English actually unlocks scientific knowledge?
Well, the Human Genome Project is a perfect example.
Okay.
That was such a groundbreaking endeavor
Yeah.
with scientists from all these different countries, and they were collaborating and sharing their findings,
Right.
all in English.
Wow.
It was the common language that allowed for this massive scientific breakthrough.
So it's like a language of shared discovery.
Exactly.
That's an awesome example.
Yeah.
It really shows how English allows for like global collaboration
Yes.
at a massive scale.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond all the practical stuff like communication and collaboration, what about the cultural impact?
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows English is the language of Hollywood, but is there more to it than that?
Yeah, there's definitely more to it than that.
Okay.
It goes way beyond just like Hollywood blockbusters,
Right.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
English is the language of Shakespeare, but it's also the language of like hip hop. It crosses all these traditional cultural boundaries
That's
and lets people from all walks of life connect
yeah.
through music,
Yeah.
film, literature, even internet memes.
It's true.
I've
definitely like had conversations about like K-pop with friends in Europe or debated the latest Marvel movie with people in South America.
Exactly.
It's like English provides that common ground
It does.
for these cultural exchanges.
Yeah.
Even if our backgrounds are totally different.
Exactly. And it's not just about like consuming the content.
Right.
It's about creation too.
Okay.
You know, English has become this global language for artistic expression, whether it's writing code for a video game or composing lyrics for a song that tops the charts worldwide.
So it's not just the language we receive culture in.
Right.
It's the language we create culture in.
Exactly.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But the video also mentioned something that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
This idea that learning English isn't just good for our social lives or careers.
Yeah.
It's actually good for our brains.
That's right. There's more and more research coming out
Really?
about the cognitive benefits of bilingualism.
Okay.
And you don't even have to be perfectly fluent to get those benefits. Just the process of learning a new language like English can have a huge impact on your brain.
I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical.
Okay.
How does just learning a language translate into actual cognitive benefits?
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
Learning a language is like cross-training for your brain.
Okay.
When you're struggling with new vocabulary and grammar rules and sentence structures, you're basically making your brain think in totally new ways, building new neural pathways.
So it's like hitting the gym,
Yes.
but for your brain.
Exactly. It's a mental workout
I like that.
that strengthens your cognitive muscles.
Okay.
It improves your memory, your attention span, your problem-solving skills.
Wow.
There's even evidence that suggests that bilingual people might have a delayed onset of cognitive decline.
Wait, really? So learning English could actually help prevent things like dementia.
It's a really exciting area of research.
Wow.
And while we need more studies,
Okay.
the early findings suggest that bilingualism does offer a kind of cognitive reserve. It helps your brain stay strong and healthy.
So as you age, your brain is more resilient.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
I'm starting to see now why learning English is so much more
Yeah.
than just a practical skill. It's like an investment in your future self,
It is.
both mentally and culturally.
Right.
But what about the emotional impact?
Okay.
Does knowing English affect how we connect with other people
Yeah.
on a deeper level?
That's a great question, and I think the answer is yes.
Okay.
You know, when you learn a new language,
Yeah.
you're not just learning words.
do you
You're
mean?
learning to see the world through a different lens.
Yeah.
You're exposed to new perspectives,
Yeah.
new ways of expressing emotions, all these new cultural nuances.
It's like empathy training in a way.
It is.
You're forced to step outside your comfort zone. Right. And consider different ways of thinking and being.
Exactly, and that kind of cognitive flexibility
Yeah.
can lead to greater understanding, compassion, and tolerance,
Okay.
especially in our increasingly globalized world.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
So to sum it up, learning English is like unlocking this treasure chest
Yeah.
of benefits, cognitive boosts, cultural immersion, career advancement, and even deeper emotional connections.
It's incredible.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic for a second.
Okay.
Learning a new language can be really daunting,
It can be.
especially for adults.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out on this journey?
Oh.
I mean, it can feel pretty overwhelming, right? Like
Yeah.
you're starting from scratch, learning a whole new way to communicate.
Right.
But, you know, I think the key is to remember that it's like a journey,
Absolutely.
not a race.
It is a journey.
Yeah.
That's something that Adam and Julia really emphasized in the video. Yeah.
You know, they encouraged viewers to set realistic goals
Right.
and just focus on progress, not perfection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like training for a marathon, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect to run 26 miles on your first day.
No.
You'd start small,
Right.
gradually build up your stamina,
Right. Exactly.
your endurance.
Yeah.
Same thing with language learning.
It's the same principle.
Yeah, start with small, achievable goals.
Right.
Like learning a few new words each day.
Yes.
Or practicing some basic phrases. And then you celebrate those small victories.
Absolutely celebrate those.
Yeah. But with like all the resources out there,
oh my gosh,
apps, textbooks,
right,
online courses,
it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, how do you even know where to begin?
Right.
Like, what are some strategies that you've seen work well for people?
Well, I think one of the most important things is to just find resources that work for you, that align with like your learning style.
Right. And what you're interested in.
Okay, so like if you're a visual learner, you might do well with flashcards.
Flashcards are great.
Or watching videos.
Videos, definitely.
But if you're more auditory, maybe listening to podcasts or music in English.
Absolutely.
Would be a good fit.
Yeah, you got to make it enjoyable.
Right, make it fun.
Yeah.
Engaging.
Yeah.
What about technology?
Okay.
I know the video talked about language learning apps.
Yes.
Like what role did those play?
They're amazing tools.
Okay.
Especially for beginners. You know, things like Duolingo.
Oh, yeah?
Babbel Memrise.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
They offer these bite-sized lessons.
Okay.
And they've got interactive exercises. And they make it fun. They've got these like gamified elements.
So it's almost like addictive?
Yeah, it can be.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about immersion?
Okay.
Is it really as effective as people say it is?
It is so important. I mean, the more you can surround yourself with the language, the faster you'll learn.
Okay, so like practically speaking, what can people do?
Well, you can change the language settings on your phone and your computer.
Well, that's a good idea.
Watch movies and TV shows with English subtitles.
Right.
Listen to music in English. Even try reading books or articles.
So it's like you're creating your own little English-speaking bubble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about speaking practice?
Okay.
That's got to be like the most intimidating part for a lot of people.
It can be, but it's also the most important.
Yeah, how do you get over that fear?
Well, first of all, don't be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, embrace them.
Okay.
You know, they're valuable learning opportunities.
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes.
Exactly.
So like, how do you get that practice?
Well, you can find a language partner, join a conversation group.
Oh.
Or even just talk to yourself in English.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just get those words out.
The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Exactly.
But what about those times when you hit a wall?
Yeah.
You feel like giving up. Like, what advice do you have for someone who's feeling discouraged?
Well, first and foremost, be kind to yourself.
Okay.
You know, learning a new language is tough. There are gonna be ups and downs.
Right.
Just remember why you started.
Yeah.
What are your goals? What motivates you? Like, reconnect with that passion.
Yeah.
And let it fuel your efforts.
So remember, you're not alone.
You are not alone.
Right.
There are so many people learning English all over the world.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Exactly, facing similar challenges and celebrating those wins.
Yeah, connect with other learners.
Absolutely.
Share your experiences.
Yeah.
Support each other.
It's a community.
Yeah.
The language learning community is huge.
That's awesome.
It's very welcoming.
Yeah.
There are online forums.
Social media groups.
Okay.
Local meetups.
Yeah.
All sorts of places.
Cool.
Where you can connect with other people.
Awesome.
Practice your skills.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has been.
Yeah, we've really explored all these different dimensions of learning English. The historical, the cultural.
The cognitive.
Yeah, even the emotional aspects.
Yeah, it's so much more than just a skill.
It's like a journey of self-discovery.
It is.
Connection empowerment.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It opens doors to so many new opportunities.
It does.
It expands our worldview. It enriches our lives.
In countless ways.
Yeah, in countless ways. Yeah. So for our listeners out there who are feeling inspired to start their own English learning adventure, what's like one final piece of advice you'd like to leave them with?
Don't wait.
Okay.
Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect method.
Okay.
Just start.
I love it.
Embrace the journey.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself. And most importantly, have fun along the way.
Yes.
You'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure on this deep dive into the world of English.
It has been.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have.
I hope so too.
Until next time, keep learning.
Yes.
Keep exploring.
Keep that thirst for knowledge alive.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Thank you.